Very good afternoon. I hope I am audible. There will be some network trouble here. If at all there is any lag or maybe any trouble with the audio or video, please let me know. Okay. Shall we start today's session? Yes. So in the past week, when we speak of polity and history, as of history, art and culture, there were no much significant topics I have found. And when it comes to polity part, we know that all newspapers and channels and all the media are overwhelmed with the election news. So as of now, we do not have such prominent take on polity in this week, especially. So we will start with geography today. Topics of geography and some other important factors. This week we had a lot of news on environment and science and tech as well. So we'll look into it. Okay. So the first topic we are taking up is Humboldt Glacier. So when we speak of this very topic, so the country which in news is Venezuela. Venezuela, a South American country, was in news recently for its glacier shrinking. Okay, so this article was on Down to Earth and various other newspapers also. We have a broad understanding about this glacier, why it is shrinking, what is the importance, and how we can connect to exam. So Venezuela is believed to be the first modern nation to lose all its glaciers. Now, any continent, if you start with North America, South America, Africa, Asian countries, all these continents, all these continents have various mountain regions, right? So in North America, we have Rockies. South America, we have Andes. Europe, we have Alps. And in Asia, we have our very own Himalayan region. So every continent, various places, various countries do have snow-covered region, glaciers, a source of fresh water, source for livelihood, various supporting biodiversity. So that really matters when it comes to glacier melting away. So country like Venezuela in South American country is known for various reasons. And this glacier melting in Andes is highlighted because it is the country's only remaining glacier. That means previously in the past, before several years, it did have certain glaciers. Glacier is a landform, we know. So we do have to connect the topic, this Humboldt Glacier, to static part also. I'll tell you what is it, which are the topics. Now, speaking of Humboldt, the minute you hear this word Humboldt, what comes to our mind? Now today we are talking about glacier. But can we try to recollect the very ocean current, Humboldt current? Hope you are getting my point. So nothing to do with that current. Still, whenever we hear a word, we have to try to connect with various topics. Okay, this word, where have I heard? Which is the other topic. Again, that is also geography. So Humboldt is a Peruvian, I think it is also called a Peruvian current in the South American nation country, which is a cold current. We have oceanic currents, warm currents, and cold currents. Okay, this is cold current. Hope you are getting my point. So it is not named after that because of the place. Now it has been reclassified. Now what is happening? As it is melting away, it has been reclassified as an ice field by Humboldt is a place, what do you call as, we have various oceanic currents. Let me write this out here. We have various oceanic currents. Oceanic currents are classified into warm currents and cold currents. Good if you ask a question so that I'll get to know to what level you're understanding, so that I need not skip any of the basic part. So warm currents are nothing but, oceanic currents are nothing but, which originates from equator towards poles. Cold currents are the currents, oceanic currents, which originates from polar region towards equator. So Humboldt, we have various oceanic currents. It's like throughout the oceans. We have, when we speak of North Atlantic, we have Labrador current, we have Gulf Stream, right? Down south, we have Falkland current, we have Peruvian current, Agalhas current, and near Japan, we have Oyashio, Kuroshio. So all these are named after either by the, maybe on the landform or near the region wise. Region based names are kept. Nothing to do with the importance of the name. I tried to connect with the current because it is similar. That's the thing. Hope you got my point. Okay. So here, one more thing to go and revisit or revise is, or to learn more is, what are oceanic currents. When your static classes or maybe in geography, you'll be learning this better, or even in your NCERT, you have it. So atlas reading is very important. Mapping, learning, or looking at the places and understanding the world map is equally important. Make sure that you spend some time for looking at your atlas, maybe at least the world physical, world political, and India physical, India political. Every day spend some 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes time simply looking at it. If you simply look at the map, what happens? A picture memory. So today, when I say Venezuela, I have told you South American country, but which part of South America? Is it north, south, east, west? Immediately that picturization should happen. Getting it? So Humboldt is nothing to do with any specific thing. So most of the times it is based on, named after regions, as simple as that. Now Venezuela is a South American country wherein this glacier is melting. That is our news. And you can see the third point here. It has been reclassified as an ice field by International Cryosphere Climate Initiative. It is an organization. And also note down this, the word cryosphere. When we say cryosphere, keep in mind cryosphere refers to any places on earth which is snow covered. Cryo, low temperature. Any places on earth which is snow covered or ice covered, it's called as cryosphere. So this entire, it's an initiative, it's an organization which says that now Humboldt Glacier in Venezuela is no longer to be called as glacier. It is called as an ice field. Now it is a technical idea, technical detail we have to go through. When do we call a snow-covered region as a glacier? When do we call it as an ice field? There is one more fact for us to learn from here. Okay. So first thing is the takeaway, direct highlights from the article. Let's dig deeper into it and understand it better. Audio, video is okay, right? Because I'm in a different outstation, so that there is some trouble here. So if there is any trouble with the audio, please let me. Okay. Now let's locate Venezuela here. You can see the South American country, northern country, not mostly northwest side of South America. We have this, and Venezuela. Before we come to this glacier part, it is known for several reasons. Especially South American countries are known for their political turmoils, uprising, rebellion, political instability. Likewise, Venezuela is also subjected to it. That is one thing. It is usually seen in news, right? One more thing is, it is rich in oil resources. It is very rich in oil resources. It is known for the main income, the major share of income or economic development happens or occurs because of its oil exports. These are the two reasons Venezuela is popular for. Apart from that, now it is in limelight because of this glacier. You can see the surface on the top of the mountain. We can see this glacier that is covered near the valleys. It is near the valleys and mountains. So NASA has clicked this picture and made it, what do you call as, it has been exposed, and this many researchers and experts have made it to a point wherein, okay, this can no longer be called as a glacier. Glacier has a specific feature, what we learn in our basic geography in NCERT. Types or landforms formed by glacial landforms, we say. That can be your static topic to learn. Remember, glacial landforms, cirques or inselbergs. We have in desert landforms, or landforms made by rivers, landforms made by glaciers. That is a chapter in your geography. You have to look into it to know the technical detail. That is what I tell you. Then let us look into the key point, like the location and all that. Venezuela is situated on South America's northern coast, bordered by the Andes Mountains. We have Andes Mountains here. I told you Andes, Rockies, various countries, various continents have various snow-covered mountains. This is Andes to the northwest, and featuring the colonial town of Merida near Sierra Nevada National Park. This much detail is not required, yet know the location. Okay. And you can see the water body also. We have Caribbean Sea, Atlantic Ocean. The country relies heavily on hydrocarbons and loans from China. So where do their income come from? Hydrocarbons, that is petroleum products, and they borrow loan from China and Russia, with petroleum historically constituting over 85% of its exports. 85% of its Venezuela's export is petroleum products. Venezuela once hosted 6 glaciers. This is the point I want to tell you. Hope you can see. Today, if we call Humboldt Glacier as the last glacier to be melted away, that means it did have other glaciers in the past. So it hosted 6 glaciers in the same region, Sierra Nevada National Park, or near this region, mountain range. Today, Humboldt Glacier is the last one, and that too is also shrinking. That is also melting away. We definitely know what is the reason, right? Rising climate, rising temperature, climate change, global warming. That is the basic reason. No other reason we can point out. But the trouble is, as I told you, because of the political turmoil, because of the protests and continuous upheaval that happens, experts and researchers are not allowed inside to conduct a study, or they were not allowed before also to conduct a study. So they opine that if at all this was predicted before, if this is happening, some measures we could have taken. Some measures we could have taken. That is the idea, but it is on the brink of shrinking away. So originally projected to last, before the experts had said that another 10 years it would sustain because of the temperature. But recent assessments reveal that it will melt faster than anticipated. Definitely it will do. So latest studies have found that Humboldt Glacier has shrunk to an area of less than 2 hectares. I told you what is the difference between glacier and ice field. Ice field. Today, this organization, that research organization, has renamed. This is no longer called as Humboldt Glacier. Rather, it should be called as ice field. What is the technical definition for this? So, a glacier which has shrunk to an area of less than 2 hectares. If a particular region which is snow covered, which has to be called as ice field, that means it should be less than 2 hectares. Less than 2 hectares, I mean, anything less than this will not amount to, or will not be defined as what you call as glaciers. So today it is renamed as ice field. Now you know the difference between ice field and glacier and other landforms. So hence it is downgraded as such. Now the next point to remember is what is the importance of cryosphere on Earth? Why cryosphere matters? We know that because of the polar caps, polar ice caps, polar region, mountains like this, that makes the temperature to be balanced, stabilized. What if, and moreover, the reflectivity of the sunlight. In geography, we learn that, in science also, albedo effect. So the lighter the surface of the region, higher the albedo effect. What is albedo effect? Reflectivity of the sun. The light colored surface or light surfaces reflects the sun slight radiation back. Now, whichever countries have these ice covered regions, snow covered regions, will be able to balance the temperature. Now, that is why we are worried about that once the glaciers ice melts away, albedo effect will be affected, or it will be reduced. The temperature increases more, absorption of the solar radiation will be even more. These are the implications of it. it is not only about the melting of the ocean, melting of the glacier, but also many more things. Okay, so here you can consider it as under world albedo effect defined in normal words. Okay. So when we speak of albedo effect, let me tell you, let us go to the very simple terms. Let us go to the school level. You might have learned or you might have heard that in summer season, we wear light colored clothes. This we have learned, right? Why should we wear light colored clothes in summer? Solar radiation is more, we're exposed to more sunlight. So light colors, dark colors absorb radiation, black, for example, right? Darker regions or tar roads. Darker regions absorb radiation much quicker than the lighter areas. So we don't have to paint something. We already have a lighter surface on Earth, that is ice-covered mountains. So that makes the reflectivity. So it reflects back the sun's radiation back to the space. Hope you're getting the point. So this is the easiest way I can explain. Getting it? Yes. So this is albedo effect. This I have just given you a glimpse of it, but eventually when you arrive at the topics in geography, it will make more sense when you learn about it, and also when you read in your NCERT. Okay, so these are the key takeaways. Mapping should be seen. Learn about ocean currents, warm currents and cold currents. Know about Humboldt current just because of the namesake, for the sake of name of it. Then what do you call as glaciers, importance of glaciers and various landforms. Okay, yes. So this is about this topic here now, geography related topic. So we'll move on to the next one, that is the World Hydrogen Summit. You can consider this as under governance topic. Okay, those who are still, I mean, now you have started your preparation and all that, always when you read your newspaper or even in current affairs also, keep your syllabus with you. So when we are discussing something, you can actually look into the topics. Okay, this topic can be related to this. It can be science and tech also. It is hydrogen, environment also. So because India has participated in this summit, I would consider under governance. Okay, let's look into what is the summit first. Then we will understand what is this hydrogen or why green hydrogen, etc. So Indian Pavilion Ministry of New and Renewable Energy stands out as one of the largest at the World Hydrogen Summit in Rotterdam. Rotterdam is in Netherlands. Recently, there was a summit held on renewable energy, which is called as World Hydrogen Summit. So India has participated, and the highlight is India has stood out because of its remarkable strides or achievements in green hydrogen technology. So we are focusing more on green hydrogen here. Okay. So what are India's achievements? Now, see, let's imagine now when the country is participating in a summit and it is called upon, it has been invited because of its achievements. And what achievements it has done, it has to literally present it there, bring it on the table. Now, India is equally proud because we have already we at the domestic level itself, we have National Green Hydrogen Mission. We have, and we have taken various sectors to what call as implement this policy, and we have a goal or a vision to reach that target as well. So that's why this has been India has been invited. So global impact is why it matters. It demonstrates India's pivotal role in shaping the future of renewable energy worldwide. And also you can notice the ministry that is responsible for this National Green Hydrogen Mission is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Always, whenever there is a policy, whenever there is a mission at the national level, first thing you have to look into is the ministry which is responsible for this policy. It may be agricultural related schemes, science and tech, okay, space related, or farmers related, any societal aspects. First thing is you have to look into the ministry. Okay, so this is the takeaway. Yeah, this news was on PIB, Press India Bureau. So we know that we have to read the newspaper, the Hindu. Usually we read that only. It takes more time. I agree. Why should we go for the government sources, especially PIB, for example, PTI, for example? Because sometimes various websites would give different information, so that you will be confused. When you want an authentic information, it's better to go to government websites. And as of now, it don't have to create a disparity. Should we take government's data? It doesn't actually matter for us. The thing is, this is an authentic information from the government. It has been published, so better go for it whenever you are in ambiguity. ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಇದ್ರೆ, ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಬರೀ ಈ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕ್ ಆಥರೈಸ್ಡ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಡೌಟ್, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಟು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಕೀಪ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೌ we will look into the key points of this green hydrogen mission. What is it all about and why India stood out in the crowd? So the mission targets, the entire mission targets aim for, this is only factual for you. Don't worry about the numbers here, just to understand. But if you can remember, you can use this in mains answer writing. If there's a question on National Hydrogen Mission, you can mention the progress India has made. All right. So mission target aims for 5 million ton green hydrogen production capacity by 2030. For 5 MMT green hydrogen production, we have targeted for 2030. So in various sectors, this will be utilized, this as the source. That is our target. That is one thing. So far, what have we done? Tenders awarded for 412,000 tons production capacity and 1,500 megawatt electrolyzer manufacturing. Is all for the number's sake. Okay. Now, very important thing is, we have a dedicated portal for it called as NGHM, that is National Green Hydrogen Mission Portal. That means, again, what have you done? What India has done for hydrogen mission, National Green Hydrogen Mission? We have a portal for it. We already have produced so much of tons of or electrolyzer manufacturing, and we aim to reach by 2030, so and so. What is the scheme guidelines? Most important point here is, which all sectors we have implemented green hydrogen. So steel, transport, shipping sectors. Even there's a topic called as green steel. Green steel is nothing but, so wherever there's a term green, that means it is eco-friendly, sustainable. We use renewable source of energy, as simple as that. So this mission has been implemented in 3 areas, 3 sectors: steel, transport, and shipping sectors. Keep this in mind. You can mention this in your answer writing, or maybe keep this in mind when any questions comes in prelims. Innovation clusters, Department of Science and Technology initiated Hydrogen Valley Innovation Clusters to foster innovation. So DST, Department of Science and Technology, takes care of it. That is also there. Let us look into this image quickly. Basic thing. So how much annually India is spending for its energy requirements? Already India is a dependent country for, when it comes to energy requirements, it has to depend on fuel or oil, right? And annually 12 million rupees is being spent for its energy requirements in various sectors. That is electricity we are talking about, non-renewable energy we are talking about. So what if we switch to renewable energy? Renewable solar ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ರಿನ್ಯೂವೇಬಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿಲ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಆನ್ ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, ರೈಟ್? So some amount or coal, when it comes to other mineral resources, we have it in India, but still we are dependent. So adanna kammi madakke, to reduce the burden of import, we are doing this. Okay, this is the key points on the mission. Now ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ಈ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್? ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ದ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್? ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ದ other types of the what you call a source or process. So there are various types, or based on colors, that is gray hydrogen, blue hydrogen, turquoise hydrogen is still emerging one. You don't have to worry about it. I've taken directly from the main authentic website itself. But These three matter. Okay, gray, blue and green. So ಗ್ರೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಗ್ರೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕೋಲ್ ಇದರನ್ನ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಗ್ರೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. SMR refers to steam methane reforming or gasification process. ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಗ್ರೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವೈ ಡು ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ as ಗ್ರೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ the emission, high level of emission, carbon emission, which is the greenhouse gases. So that is why the color ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವ್ ಏನು ಈಗ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಕಲರ್ ಏನು ಗ್ರೇ ಆಶ್, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಗ್ರೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಕಲರ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಗ್ರೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಆರ್ ಕೋಲ್. Now when we speak of blue hydrogen, the source is also methane or coal itself, no doubt. But why blue hydrogen is better than gray hydrogen? Because gasification agutte, we convert into gas, no doubt in it, but carbon capture can be done. What is carbon capture here? Carbon capture antandre, iga ondu industrial activity, an industrial activity or automobile or something is releasing greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. So before it reaches to the atmosphere, blue sky, you can remember like that, reaches to the atmosphere, that is being captured to reduce the emission. That is why it is called as blue hydrogen, which is much better because source same ide, carbon capture ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಆದಷ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗದಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. And turquoise hydrogen is pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is a mechanism. Here methane itself, no coal is involved. But the trouble is, it is just an emerging decarbonization option. We do not have much updates or advanced idea about it. So directly we shift to green hydrogen. So green hydrogen, electrolysis is a process, and renewable electricity or renewable energy in the ಮಾಡುವಂತ solar panels. You can see the electricity is generated using renewable energy sources, not methane, not coal, wind, sun. ಇದರಿಂದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, the very source is the water itself. ಸೊ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಸನ್ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೈಡಲ್ ಎಟ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್, which is not leaving out any emission. No carbon is emitted here, no methane is emitted, no greenhouse gases. As it is eco-friendly, that is why it is called as green hydrogen. Ishtu as of now update. Eventually ಯಾವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಮಿಷನ್, ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದು ಯಾವತ್ತು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. We will be learning, updating eventually. As of now, illigenu ಒಂದು ಸಮಿಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಸಮಿಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟೆಡ್ there in Netherlands, in Rotterdam in Netherlands. So just the brief of it as of now. Okay, it is a repetitive topic, so I'm just stopping it here. Now, clear with this? Now moving on to the next topic. We'll talk about some science and tech topic. So Batylypus Chandrayani was recently in news. Why this is specifically taken? Because already regarding this particular organism, what we are going to talk today, was seen twice in news, and it has various applications, and it is opening spheres or areas to know more about this microorganism. What is it and why this name? Okay, new tardigrade species named after Chandrayaan-3 mission. So here naming doesn't matter, but still why I have taken up this exclusively, because UPSC recent pattern ಏನide ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, microorganisms to scientific name ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, plants to scientific name ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ any unique name ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು, ಅದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿ which of the following the organism is this? ಅದು microorganism ಅಥವಾ amphibian, reptile, they do ask. Animals ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. Animals ನ scientific names ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ animal ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. When it comes to bacteria, especially bacteria, any microorganism, fungi, plants, ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ scientific names ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, Batylypus Chandrayaan. First, we will look into the news highlights, then we will understand what is this tardigrade mean. So researchers from Cochin University of Science and Technology named a newly discovered marine tardigrade species found off the east coast of Tamil Nadu as Batilepus chandrayaan. So this particular organism, microorganisms, which is depicted here under microscope, you can see this is a water living organism where it lives in water. First thing. The naming honors the Chandrayaan-3 moon mission conducted by the ISRO. So the researchers have named it as Chandrayani because of the Chandrayaan mission, nothing to do with Chandrayaan mission, totally two different concepts. They have just named it. It is in, they discovered in southeast coast of Tamil Nadu for honoring the Chandrayaan-3 mission, nothing to do with it. Forget about the name. Let us understand this organism. Tardigrades, they are called as tardigrades, microorganisms, also called as water bears. If we look in the microscope, it looks like this. If you really depict the organism, actual depiction, it looks like a bear, which is in water. That's why it is called as water bear. Why are they known? Why are we so interested about this particular microorganisms, which doesn't even have a proper shape or nothing to do with us directly? Why are we focusing on this? Because this organism is known for its resilience and unique characteristics. What is resilience? Withstanding, fighting back. Okay, so surviving in any extreme condition. So e microorganism ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು extreme condition ಆದ್ರೂ, no matter whichever organisms dies, this will survive. This has a reversal mechanism. When something changes in the external environment, it changes itself. So ultimately, it tries kind of an immortal kind of various terminologies are referring to this. We refer to this. So basically, it tries to survive as much as possible. It tries to be flexible or adaptable as much as possible. This is the learning from this organism. Now, why are we human beings are interested so much on this? Because to know what makes these microorganisms to survive in extreme condition. If we know it, we can also do, right? Now survive agbodu. ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. tardigrade or water bear. So ISRO achieved the first landing near the south pole of the moon, earning recognition of India's space exploration efforts. Just a fact for it. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ. So let's focus on tardigrades. Some features of the tardigrade. See, it looks like this. Okay, so it looks like a bear according to the scientists. So it is why it is called as water bear. Now, these are the microscopic marvels, often referred to as water bears. Tardigrades are fascinating creatures. Among tardigrade species, marine variants constitute 17%. Andre marine environment alle 17% barutte. Ella kade ocean alli irutte, bere kade water bodies allu sigutte namage tardigrade. Tardigrades have developed resilience to environmental challenges through cryptobiosis. What is cryptobiosis? Now, ಈಗ science and tech topic ಓದ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ certain key terminologies important ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Cryptobiosis, a state where metabolic functions cease reversibly, stop, or they can change. They have the capacity. So cryptobiosis is organisms try to in a metabolic where the metabolic functions cease reversibly. If it is hot, cold, yes, we have a regulation condition, but sometimes extreme condition nobody can thrive. So recently in this summer itself, we know that many people have died because of heat waves. We are in nature, we are called as regulators. Regulators means we are warm-blooded animals. We can actually withstand, we can try to regulate our body temperature to the external temperature. But when it goes to extreme, what happens to us? Extreme cold and extreme hot. Can we survive? No. There is a minimal temperature, right? But that is not the case for tardigrades. They can withstand anything. That is why we are interested to know how are they doing it. So we can apply. Applications are several. So that is why we are learning this. So despite their minute stature, these micrometazoans exhibit extraordinary durability, enduring extinction events. Many extinctions has been faced by Earth, but this has not been extinct. Why? Again, because of withstanding capacity and gaining acclaim for their remarkable survival skills. So as I've already told you, this water base or tardigrades were in news before also, long back, not recently, long back. Today we are reading this for the upcoming exam, not the recent one I'm talking about. Again, throughout the year, if it is repetitively seen, then we have to learn about its applications, or why are we learning about it, its importance, and what is it exactly. For today, only naming is there in the news. That's why we are focusing on the naming itself and the basic idea about it. Next time you get tardigrade anta andaga ishtadru gnapaka irbeku. Then you will add more points to it. Clear with this? So this is one topic in science and tech. Moving on, one more topic under science and tech, that is xenotransplantation. I think you might have come across this news alittu kelitira, try to recollect. First human recipient of pig kidney transplant dies. So ಈಗ xenotransplantation ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. Few months back, person in the US, he had got first person to receive or be the recipient to get pig's kidney to be transplanted in his body. Okay, so this was in news, but recent March, this year only, March, and the person passed away recently. Now this is in news. Now the family members of, he was 62-year-old, they say that where the procedure is performed, nothing to do with the procedure, nothing to do with the transplantation. They do not link to it, because this person was already suffering from kidney failure, and kidney failure means a transplantation has to be done. That is the reason this was done. This was conducted as an experiment with all agreement by the family members and the patient himself and the deceased himself. So this was done, and neither the hospital nor the family are attributing this death to transplantation. So wherever you hear the term xeno or xeno, that means strange, outside. Xenophobia anta helteve. Xenophobia means fear of strangers. So wherever you see this prefix, it is strange or outside, unknown. Idu news. Iga navu, what is the xenotransplantation? Why it is so hype about it, and what is the importance? Why are we trying to experiment transplanting pig's kidney to human beings? What is the idea here? Let us look into it. So xenotransplantation involves transplanting cells, tissues, or organs from non-human animals. We are talking about, because human being is also an animal under the same kingdom. So non-human animals into humans, or human materials that have been in contact with animal tissues. So transplanting the organs from other animals other than human beings to humans. That is why what we call as xenotransplantation. Why are we doing this? Simply for the sake of conducting experiment? No. The primary goal is to alleviate the shortage of human donor organs. Today, kidney failure or kidney stone or kidney trouble is a widespread problem. Not only in America, every country, including India. Maybe you will be knowing many of your people, or I have known many people who suffers from kidney troubles. Those who have undergone transplantation, or those who are still going through dialysis. It's just a painful, terrible thing to undergo, because it is like a person is like half dead. Eventually going for dialysis continuously together, that person himself or that person herself will be knowing how much pain it is, right? So in male it is very common, especially in India. Female also it is there, not only male, female also it happens, but male it is a very common problem in India and any other country. So when we speak of, is there a solution for this? Yes, there is a dialysis. One more solution is permanent solution, at least for longer term, is transplantation. Transplantation is a solution we have identified. We can transplant the kidneys, but do we have enough donors? Donors idara? Donors idru ivageಲ್ಲ hospitals ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಕೇಳಿರಬಹುದು, ನೋಡಿರಬಹುದು. ಯಾರು ಈ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಟ್ರಬಲ್, who is undergoing this problem, they have to enlist their names in the various hospitals. ಯಾವಾಗ ಡೋನರ್ ರೆಡಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಡೋನರ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಆನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ವ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಯಾರು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಎವರ್ ಮನಿ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್, whatever you have. ಡೋನರ್ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಡೋನರೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೇಶನ್ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಡೋನರ್ಸ್ ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಇದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆದ್ರೆ we don't have to. Many people are dying because transplantation is not happening, donors are not there. That is the reason we have switched to it, because there should be a reason, right? Why are we doing this? So in the US, around 90,000 individuals await kidney transplants annually, with over 3,000 dying each year while on the wait list. Wait list idkonde 3,000 are dying only in America. Imagine in all the countries. Xenotransplantation traces its origin back to 1980s, with initial attempts focused on heart transplants from animals to humans. Munchenu try madid. This is not the first time. Munchenu heart transplantation try madidare. The selected animal organs like pig kidneys undergo, most important point, sumne tegda allin tegdi illige hakadalla, undergo genetic modifications to enhance compatibility with human body. Gene editing anta karitivi navu adike. Pig kidneys, before it is transplanted, before it is transferred to human beings, they modify, they edit the gene so that it will be adapted to this very person, right? So one of the example of gene editing tool is CRISPR-Cas9. Idanna prelims alli kelidare munche. Gene editing tools, remember, a science and tech alli stem cells, gene editing, very very important topics. Keep this in mind, okay? Idakke sambandhapattida yavade ondu topics bandrunu you have to focus on it. So gene editing tools such as CRISPR-Cas9 are used to remove pig genes producing antibodies and introduce human genes to improve compatibility. Compatible agbekalva alliruvanta kidney same ade ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, modify ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So this is the use. You can see in the image donor pig. ಆಮೇಲೆ pig skin is also used for burns already. Burns idre pig skin ena use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Kidney failure, pancreatic islets. So all these are transplanted from the pig, but still it is in an experimental stage. This research has been studies iga hogta ide, yaake idagirbodu. Is there anything to do with xenotransplantation? Akasmat ಒಂದು 2-3 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ successful ಆದರೆ then actually it will be widespread, wherein we can actually need not wait for the donors, we can do this. ಆದರೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ challenges ಅಥವಾ obstacles idde irutte. So various challenges. It is not very easy to say what are the challenges. Immunological and technical barriers, infectious barriers, physiological barriers, social and ethical barriers, healthcare resource barriers. Once it is this notes is shared to you, you can go through it. I'll just give a brief idea about it. Other one ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Social ಮತ್ತು ethical barrier ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. For example, in society, community acceptance matter. Okay. So ಈ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ pig kidney transplant ಆಗಿದೆಯಂತೆ, that is more than enough to outcast, ostracize a person. Community acceptance, legal regulations problem ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ. Legality, allocation system, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ allocate ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಯಾರಿಗೆ allocate. Already there is a trouble with kidney transplantation waiting list and all that. So that is also questionable. Animal rights or ಬರ್ಬೋದು. Why are you killing a pig for transplanting kidney? Is it not inhumane? That can be an issue, right? Distributive justice or specific justice for human beings hinge obrobrig matra. Well informed consent, whether the person is okay or consenting to get pig kidney transplantation. Esto ಅಥವಾ heart ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Getting it? So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ challenges ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. Maybe in mains if they ask, you can go through holistically ಈ answer ನ approach ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Technical barriers, challenges, physiological challenges ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು. Xenograft overgrowth ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Overgrowth of the organs ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ infection ಗೆ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಹೆಪಟೈಟಿಸ್ ಈ ವೈರಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಪ್ರೋನ್ ಟು ಈ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹರ್ಪಿಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವೈರಲ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು pig transplantation ಇಂದ. There are many things, many challenges. It is not easy as it sounds. So these are the things in detail we have gone through. Okay. News is regarding the person who got this xenotransplantation died, but we have to look into all these things. Okay. So we'll move on to the next topic. Next one. Auroras. Auroras was recently seen in news. Auroras do occur, or it actually occurs in the headline because of its presence in the polar regions, especially polar region anta andaga Scandinavian countries in the northern hemisphere, in the southernmost hemisphere alli auroras are common anta antevi ನಾವು. The what do you call as the dazzling lights in the sky, natural lights that appear as bright swirling like a curtain in the sky, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅರೋರಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. But why are we studying this? Because recently in Hanli village in Ladakh, Indiaದಲ್ಲಿ we saw this northern lights, which is also called as aurora borealis, illuminating the night sky. That is why we are considering this as important. There are two things here. One, the location what we are talking about. The other thing is what are auroras and why it occurs. After understanding why it occurs, we can connect to one more topic here, micro topic. So it is like it unfurls itself, one related to another. Okay, so auroras, basically aurora anta andre, when you go to the origin of it, the name is derived from a Nordic goddess, Aurora, I think goddess of light something. So the name is derived from there. Here in news, the Hanli village in Ladakh recently witnessed. Hanli is known for various things. Before we come to auroras, let me tell you this. Hanli is a place wherein we have Indian Astronomical Observatory in Ladakh. Indian Astronomical Observatory is in Ladakh. And recently established, opened, launched Hanli Dark Sky Reserve is also in Ladakh. What is a Dark Sky Reserve? I'm talking about the place here as of now. What is a Dark Sky Reserve? Dark Sky Reserve refers to a place where it is free from pollution. Yav pollution? Light pollution. Free from pollution, light pollution, because we know what is light pollution. Excessive use of artificial lights is called as light pollution. Ee jagadalli at the higher altitude in Ladakh, there is no artificial lights. There are no artificial lights. Less pollution, air pollution also less people. So you can have a spectacular view of starry night in the sky. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೋನಾಮಿಕಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಟರಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಕೈ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ to make astronomical observations in this region. So that is why Hanli is important, was already seen in news. So ಈಗ ಪುನಃ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ auroras-ಗೆ. Okay, let me add to this. Hanli Dark Sky Reserve, adding one more point. Hanli Dark Sky Reserve ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಡಾಖ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಜಾಗ ಒಂದು ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನೇಬರ್ಹುಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ, ಆರ್ ಲೊಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಚಾಂಗ್ತಾಂಗ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಚಾಂಗ್ತಾಂಗ್ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ನೋ ಲೆಪರ್ಡ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ, ಒಂದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ auroras, talking where it happened in Hanli. Then Hanli is also having Dark Sky Reserve. Dark Sky Reserve is part of a wildlife sanctuary, Changtang Wildlife Sanctuary, and this wildlife sanctuary is known for snow leopard population. These many things. Okay. Now, this is the first thing we have done with the location. Now, ಈಗ ಅರೋರಾ ಬೋರಿಯಾಲಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಾರ್ತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರೋರಾ ಬೋರಿಯಾಲಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೌತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅರೋರಾ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. I am talking about North Pole and South Pole. North Pole, if it occurs, it is called as aurora borealis. Remember boreal forest, coniferous forest in the above temperate zone. Ali boreal region barutte. Borealis, aurora borealis. Aurora australis, south. Okay. So why it is happening? Severe geomagnetic storm has allowed rare aurora to show in Ladakh as observed from Hanli Observatory. ಯಾತಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ aurora ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ geomagnetic storm ಇಂದ. We will see what is this. Geomagnetic storm na ಏನಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. While rare, this is not the first sighting of northern lights in Ladakh. Ladakh ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂಚೆನೂ ಇದು ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಇದು ಆದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ರೇರ್. ನಾವ್ ಏನು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿನೇವಿಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Scandinavian countries means Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Finland, Nordic countries. ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಾಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಲಿಟರಲಿ ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ದೇರ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಅರೋರಾಸ್. ಅಷ್ಟಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅರೋರಾಸ್. ಈ ಇಮೇಜ್ ನ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಈ ಅರೋರಾಸ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ what do you call as ನಮ್ದು ಫೋನ್ ವಾಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅರೋರಾಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ ಅರೋರಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಪೋಲ್ಸ್. ಇದೊಂದು ಲೈಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ. ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ಕಲರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ಲೂ, ರೆಡ್, ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ, ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರೆಂಜ್, known as aurora borealis in the north and aurora australis in the south. Typically visible at high latitudes, but can sometimes be seen at lower latitudes also. Iga high latitudes anta andaga we are talking about northern region, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. But today we are talking about Hanley, means sometimes it happens at lower latitudes also, depending upon the altitude and the presence or the reaction that happens where it can reach out. Altitude indanu ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ವಿ ಗೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಜಿಯೋಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಮ್. ಅರೋರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಕಾರಣ ಏನು? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈಟ್ಸ್, ದೀಸ್ ಲೈಟ್ಸ್? ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್. ದ ಮೇನ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸನ್. Sun undergoes various eruption, ejections. So sun, within sun, as it is the fusion of hydrogen and helium, it is a fusion of hydrogen and helium. There is a constant ejections, eruptions, wind, solar flare, solar storms. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸನ್ ಒಳಗೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸನ್ ಇಂದ, that will be passed out, that will be spread across throughout the space. Okay, so luckily for Earth, we are not too near to the sun, away from the sun. We are at the right position. But luckily for us, we also are blessed with, or maybe thanks to the magnetic field of the Earth, the solar eruption, solar storm will not directly affect the Earth, unlike other planets. ಈಗ see, charged particles from the sun is hitting. We can't even take the solar radiation only. Radiation ಏನ್ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Imagine about the solar flares. ಈಗ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಕಿಡಿಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ, ನಾವು ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಕಿಡಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹಾರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅರೋರಾ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ read point wise. Auroras are caused by activity on the surface of the sun, specifically the release of charged particles and magnetic fields known as the solar wind. Solar wind inda mattu ee charged particles enagutte, that will spread out. Earth's magnetic field deflects much of the solar wind, but some charged particles are trapped and funneled into the atmosphere near the poles. So ನೀವು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಅರ್ತ್ ವಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಈ ತರ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಈಸ್ ವೀಕರ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಈಕ್ವೇಟರ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗರ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಪೋಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಓದಿರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ is strong near the poles, weak near the equator. That is why we have this bulge structure. So for the sun which is hitting off continuously, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವೀಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ವೀಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ hitting, coming to hit the earth like this, because of the weak magnetic strength, it gets deflects, or it gets deflect away, deflect ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಡಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, these charged particles move across poles. Poles hatra bandaga, near this region, as it has some strength, magnetic strength, these charged particles will react with the atmospheric gases. Oxygen, nitrogen, the most abundant ones. Nitrogen, it is 78%, oxygen 21%. ಇದೆರಡರ ಜೊತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದಾಗ we see these colors. So basically gas ಜೊತೆ atmosphere ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, various gases, it gets react with solar flares or charged particles, where we see this colorful lights in the sky. This is the reason for what you call as auroras, what we see. Sometimes ಯಾಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಡಾಖ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, because of the altitude. It might happen, very rare, yet it happens ಅಂತ. Hope you're getting the point. Okay, so these particles interact with gases in the upper atmosphere, upper atmosphere, producing the colorful light displays known as auroras. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್, ಈಗ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಒಂದೊಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಕಲರ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ and red light, while nitrogen collisions produce shades of blue and purple. Iveredu consider martivi andre because it is abundant. Okay, so oxygen green and red, and nitrogen blue and purple. So auroras can expand to mid latitudes during periods of strong solar activity driven by events like solar flares, coronal mass ejections. Ishtu namge news ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನ್ ಓದ್ಬೇಕು ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, why are we so interested about auroras? Are nice to see, okay, but when we speak of coronal mass ejections, corona is the outermost layer of the sun structure ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಇವಾಗ coronal mass ejections is giving out, blowing out, spurting out. Okay, so why are we so focused on solar winds and solar storms, solar flares which is happening in the sun? Because ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Because of this charged particles, when it hits the earth, there are many instances wherein there are disruption of telecommunication networks. Internet problem agutte, telecommunication problem agutte, they directly hit the towers also. So what happens? There is a disruption of telecommunication. So what are we doing for this? Long back, NASA has launched a probe called as Solar Parker probe. Anta NASA du probe adu mission. India dinda yavdu? What is the mission we have for understanding sun? Recent one. Can anyone tell me? Which is the space? Yes, very good. Aditya L1. Aditya L1 ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ವಿ? L1 ಏನು? Lagrangian point, the point between sun and the earth where it can make steady. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ sun? Why are we studying? Because we will be knowing the mechanism, what is happening, the process, that is solar wind, the timing that is happening, one thing. And we can try, once we understand it better, we can try to adapt accordingly. Illandre it is a huge economic loss, livelihood loss. Aditya L1, yes, livelihood, economic loss, potential losses for many countries because of this disruption. Alva? So adikoskara idನ್ನ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಾವು. Okay, I'll give you a small thing to know. Van Allen belt ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ? I wanted to explain, but I'm giving you, ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಾವು auroras ಇಂದ start ಮಾಡಿ, we are talking about various topics. So in order to connect to this, look into what is Van Allen belt. Space science ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಓದ್ತೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. Van Allen belt ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, why it matters, anything to do with these auroras, anything to do with magnetic field ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ, magnetic shield ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. Okay, yes. So this is about auroras, which is recent. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, auroras will not occur every year, any time they want. There is a particular position of earth and the sun. Okay, that is one fact you have to remember. And auroras will not happen only on earth but also on other planets. Bere planets allo iga earth ne hit ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it goes on through various towards various planets in the solar system. So auroras, there are auroras that has occurred in planets like Uranus, Jupiter and all that. That is one more fact to remember. Clear? Yes. So we'll move on to the next one. That is mammoth. It was recently in news. So Iceland's mammoth raises potential for carbon capture. Now, mammoth is a place or a facility, sorry, not place, facility in Iceland for carbon capture technology. Last class alli ನಾವು carbon farming anta ಓದಿದ್ವಿ, if you remember. Carbon farming. So ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ it is important. Green ಇಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ it is important. Bio prefix important. It focuses like that on. Okay, so let's look into the news first and understand it better. Iceland has recently commenced operations at the world's largest facility aimed at extracting carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So Iceland ಹೊಸ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ, ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿಗೆ ಹೆಸರೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಮ್ಯಾಮೋತ್ ಅಂತ. ಮ್ಯಾಮೋತ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಐಸ್ ಏಜ್ elephant. You might have seen in Ice Age movies, right? Now fossil. So mammoth is a huge elephant, or the name is given for because of the size of the facility. Mammoth anta kottidare. So elli launch madidare idನ್ನ dormant volcano island. We have types of volcanoes: active volcano, dormant volcano. What are dormant volcano? The volcanoes which have not erupted in the recent past. Dormant. Okay, so Iceland is also known for various volcanic, it is a volcanic region. So dormant volcano island alli idana establish madidare. So named as Mammoth, this facility marks Climb Works second commercial direct air capture plant in Iceland, surpassing the size of its predecessor Orca, which commenced operations in 2021. Mammoth kinta munche innondu carbon capture storage facility ittu, technology ittu, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ facility ittu, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು Orcas ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Orca is also a name of the mammal. ಏನು Orca ಅಂದ್ರೆ? It is a dolphin, largest dolphin of all dolphins. Orca is the largest dolphin. Other name of Orca is killer whales ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It is a dolphin, but ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು white and black ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, white and black dolphins, bigger dolphins. So these are not whales, these are dolphins, but they are called as killer whales because they kill whales. But they are dolphins, largest of all dolphins. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ Orca ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು because of the place maybe, or maybe the size maybe. So it has surpassed the size of the Orca. Now we have Mammoth. Ishtu news. But ನಾವೀಗ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಏನಿದು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ? ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? That is what we have to look into. Okay, what is carbon capture or carbon dioxide capture? What is the mechanism? How it helps to tackle climate change? That is what we have to see. So carbon capture process works like this, or it is one of the tools of carbon capture. I think I've told you before also. I'll be repeating. I have no trouble because reminding you the terminologies: carbon sink, carbon capture, carbon sequestration. More important words, terminologies. Carbon sink are the natural sinks. When we speak of carbon sink, we are talking about forest, ocean, and soil. Natural carbon sinks anta kariteve. Carbon capture andre ಏನು? The name itself suggests capturing. When carbon dioxide, because of the various activities, industrial activities or anthropogenic activities, enters the atmosphere, it has been captured so that to reduce the impact of the climate change or global warming. Capture anta kariteve. Carbon capture. It is not again easy as it sounds, but we have to go through. This is the technology. See, very Iceland ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ ಇವಾಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ, ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ. That is carbon capture. Carbon sequestration ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ after capturing the carbon ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That is called as carbon sequestration. Sink, capture, sequestration. Okay, yes. So direct air capture andre ಏನು? Innovative. It is an innovative technology. Extracts carbon dioxide from air, offering options for storage underground, conversion into stone or reuse. ಇದೊಂದು ಇನೋವೇಟಿವ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ನ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ರೀಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಡೀಪರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್, so that carbon dioxide is no longer in the atmosphere. That is the idea. So Climb Works and Carbfix are the two private organizations here. We need not worry about it. ಈ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಐಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, it aims to convert captured carbon into stone beneath Iceland's surface, powered by abundant geothermal energy. Iceland is known for geysers, springs. So ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ನ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ it will be powered by geothermal energy. Look at the idea. So this is what, for that huge investment is required. Idu aim. So direct air capture differs from traditional carbon capture by extracting carbon dioxide from atmosphere rather than at the emission points like steel plants, etc. So carbon capture illa enaagtide nodi, idondu conventional type. Industrial allindane direct agi pipe connect ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ funnels connect ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So direct emission na capture ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಂಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟೋರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಎಸ್ ಐಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಏರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ರಾದರ್ ದನ್ ಅಟ್ ಎಮಿಷನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಇಂದನೇ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು capture from the atmosphere. That is why it is more advanced. The captured carbon dioxide can be stored deep underground permanently or utilized for various purposes, as I told you already. Iceland alladre geothermal energy ge use ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Today it is still under process, we can say. It is not so well developed in all the countries because of the investment challenges. Some countries have done it, but ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಮಿಷನ್ ನ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. Here questions can be asked on which of the following are the various technologies for carbon capture. ಬೇರೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್, ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್, ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ವಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ. Okay, so this is about direct air capture. So let's take a break for 5 minutes, then I will continue with the rest of the topics. We'll go to other topics. Okay. Let's resume. So, species in news. What we have recently is leopard cat. Okay, so this was given in various newspapers regarding a leopard cat spotted in central India, specifically Maharashtra's Pench Tiger Reserve. So, Maharashtra's Pench Tiger Reserve is a very unique place for leopard cat because it was never spotted ever before in this region. That's why it is in news. So, what all aspects we have to connect to? We have to understand the wildcats, Indian wildcats, maybe because it is in news, its features, basic features, and also let's look into Pench as a protected area. Okay, so that's what in news it said. Maharashtra's Pench Tiger Reserve recently recorded the sighting of a leopard cat for the first time. So this marks the first known instance of a leopard cat being observed in central India. That means central India was not the place, but we are spotting it. The species presence in the reserve was confirmed via camera traps. So it is confirmed that it is spotted there. Due to its adaptable nature, the leopard cat is the second most prevalent small wildcat in India, following the jungle cat. Okay? In India, wildcats are broadly classified into big cats and small cats, wildcats. Okay, so I think I've mentioned this before also. Let me repeat. There are 5 big cats in India. Total of 15. The next point. India is home to 15 species of felids, that is members of the family Felidae or cats, wild cats. Under that, 5 are big cats, remaining 10 are small cats. So the article also speaks about India's small cats have been ignored and overlooked. We have fishing cat, jungle cat, caracal. We have this leopard cat. So these are smaller in size, yet in wild. So which are those 5 big cats? Asiatic lion, Royal Bengal tiger, common leopard, clouded leopard, snow leopard. 3 leopards, 1 tiger, 1 lion. Okay, these are big cats. Small cats are this. So most popular, most abundant small cat is jungle cat. After that, we have leopard cat. So we are looking into this regarding leopard. Some details regarding leopard cat. Let us look into it. This is what you see on the image. This is leopard cat. Okay. You might ask, we do not have any patterns like leopard. It has only spots, but as it has more similar features like leopard when compared to any other cats, tiger or lion, we call it as a leopard cat. Okay, so let's look into its features. So recognized for its leopard-like appearance, the leopard cat lacks rosettes. Rosettes means the pattern on the leopard's body, like this. These are rosettes, like flower. It do not have it. You can see the only spots are there, but displays solid black spots or patches across its body. This is nocturnal. It is active during night and solitary. Do not live in groups, and very important in controlling rodent population. Why are we focusing on leopard cats? Because it acts as a very important species, or rather we can call it as keystone species, which controls rodent population. Often crossed with domestic cats, the Asian leopard cat produces hybrid offspring known as Bengal cats. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ cats ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ, when it comes to cats, the domestic cats we are talking about, people, you might be having pet dogs and cats. The difference between dog and a cat is you might have identified which is more loyal, which is more friendly, which is more obedient. Dogs. Cats are totally indifferent to you. We might say that we are taking care of cat. We are petting the cat. Rather, it is petting us. So most indifferent animal, we can say, the domestic cat. So we feed domestic cats, we feed them, if at all it is at home, we feed them milk or whatever food. But ultimately, its carnivore instinct is there. It does hunt. It goes out. If it is rodents, any rodent, it will definitely hunt. In search of this prey base, there can be an encounter of a leopard cat and a domestic cat. So when these two come together, it produces a hybrid offspring called as Bengal cat, what you can see on the upper image. See, very small size. It is not a leopard. Face is like a domestic cat. Body is like a leopard. So it is called as Bengal cat. In Bengal region, it is very prominent. One more point to add. Bengal cat. Okay, Bengal cat. Then we will speak about habitat. Habitat preferences includes wetter regions. So they will be mostly found in the regions where there is enough water. High rainfall, near water sources, tropical forests, semi-deserts, not complete arid region, dry region, semi-deserts, agricultural areas, and even elevations up to 3000 meters. So altitude doesn't matter. So basically, except for dry regions, they are found everywhere, especially near water. So geographically, when we speak of the range of distribution, international level, Southeast Asian nation, starting or Asia, Pakistan to Southeast Asia, Borneo, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, still Philippines, we have them, and north, up north till Russia, Far East. Till there, its distribution is there, and also the color and the what do you call as pattern slightly differs in different countries, but together we call it as Asian leopard cat. In India, where are they found? Northeast India, North Himalayan states, West Bengal, Odisha, pockets of the Western Ghats, previously believed absent in Central India. Central India bittu ella kade Northeast alli, North Himalayan, West Bengal, Odisha ಮತ್ತು Western Ghats ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. Eastern Ghats ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, Western India ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಜಾಗ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇತ್ತು. Central India ದಲ್ಲೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So recent ಆಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. So we can include that also. Holds the distinction of being the second most, I have told you that. After jungle cat, it is the second most popular or abundant cat. IUCN ಪ್ರಕಾರ least concern ಅಂತ categorize ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Least concern categorize ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ IUCN ಕೆಳಗೆ the population is abundant. It is not under threat. Threat ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. It has very good population, but we are talking about it, that's all. Because as we have already seen that it is very important in controlling rodent population. That's the reason. Okay, so other features of the leopard cat, you can see. What do they eat? Food habits. They feed on amphibians, reptiles, insects, fish. They are primarily carnivores. They feed on terrestrial vertebrates. Okay, so they, unlike domestic cats, they do not toy. They do not play over with their prey base. Do not play with the prey. I mean, you have seen the domestic cats, the house cats. How do they do? They catch the prey and they play around, then they eat. But here there is no time for playing. Direct attack, they'll eat. Swimmers and climbers. They can swim as well as climb. In this point, I would like to add up one more important small cat of India, fishing cat. These are also excellent swimmers. Fishing cat is the state animal of West Bengal, if I'm not wrong. Also found in Chilika Lake in Odisha. Fishing cat at the birth. Look into that also. Okay. Then main threats are hunting for trade. Trade goskara hunt ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು habitat loss ಇಂದನು threat ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So these are the main things, main facts about and these are the images. I mean, how it looks, what is the head, ears and all that. Ishtu detail agi kelala. Basic is their distribution and the food habits. Ishtu idea idre nimge leopard cats ಅಥವಾ other small cats ಬಗ್ಗೆ questions ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. Because it is in news, let's see in the future if it is repetitive, we can add more points to it. Okay, yes. As it is least concern, we don't have to much worry about it, but we are connecting to the subtopic of the news, that is Pench Tiger Reserve. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಪಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು Pench Tiger Reserve ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Let us learn about the protected area from this news. So Pench Tiger Reserve anta bandaga, Pench is a place which spans across two states, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. ಈ Pench Tiger Reserve ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ Pench. You can see this image here. Pench is spread across two, because bordering state of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. Pench of Madhya Pradesh, Pench of Maharashtra. This has been spotted in Maharashtra. Plus, what do you call, Pench Tiger Reserve is also, we are talking about the Maharashtra only. And let us look into the facts of it. And you can see the other area, Satpura. Kanha Tiger Reserve is also there, bordering this. This is Kanha in Madhya Pradesh. Tadoba in Andhra Pradesh, sorry, Maharashtra. So all the Melghat in Maharashtra. Again, Melghat is also Tiger Reserve, Maharashtra. Okay, these are the other protected areas in and around. Then the Pench Tiger Reserve is named after River Pench, is split nearly evenly by this this river spanning across 2 states. I've told you there is a reservoir also, Totlado reservoir anta ide ee jagadelli. Now yaake istondu detail agi hogtivi antandre questions will be asked with the description given. Description ನೋಡಿ ಅದ್ಯಾವುದು ಟೈಗರ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಥವಾ ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೆಂಚುರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್, ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಕ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಗೆ. ರಿಸರ್ವಾಯರ್ ಅಥವಾ ರಿವರ್ ನೇಮ್, flora and fauna, etc. Flora within the reserve sustains variety of species such as gaur, that is Indian bison, sambar, barking deer, chausinga, chinkara, wild boar. I know that we'll not definitely remember all the flora and fauna, but ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಷ್ಟು ರಿಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳು ಫ್ಲೋರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಫೋನಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು, ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ. ಸೊ ಸಾಂಬಾರ್, ಬಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೀರ್, ಚೌಸಿಂಗ, ಚಿಂಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಪ್ರೆಡೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದು? ಟೈಗರ್ಸ್, ಲೆಪರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಡಾಗ್ಸ್. That's why. That is how the ecosystem forms a community. Correct? Predatory species like tigers, leopards, wild dogs. Now wolves are also there. Now this jungle cats are also there added. Illiruvanta flora, we have mahua, palash, teak trees. And very important, what kind of ecosystem they have? Dry deciduous forest. Pench Tiger Reserve has an ecosystem of dry deciduous forest. These are basic details. News is regarding spotting of the leopard cat, but we are focusing on a protected area plus its features. Okay, so we'll move on to the next topic, that is anemone bleaching. Anemone bleaching. Coral bleaching is quite popular. What is this anemone? Sea anemones andre enu athwa anemone andre enu? News first nodona, then we will understand the remaining points. Researchers at the ICAR, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, studying sea anemones in the Lakshadweep Islands, have observed widespread anemone bleaching near Agatti Island. Agatti Island of Lakshadweep is quite popular recently. Lakshadweep is also seen much in news. That's why this is important. And bleaching is a phenomenon that occurs because of especially climate change, of course, and there are other reasons for it, and why sea anemones matter in the marine ecosystem. That is what we are going to learn. So here, sea anemone bleaching, this marks the first observation of sea anemone bleaching in the region and raises concerns about the local ecological system's health. Sea anemone bleaching ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, but ಲಕ್ಷದ್ವೀಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ very first time. Okay, so bleaching ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? What happens with it? You can see in this image, right? Bleaching means totally whitened up, whitening. Okay, so species which are with vibrant colors suddenly all of a sudden turn into white or completely bleached out. It will be more vulnerable to diseases and mortality or death rate will increase. Apart from that, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, if at all they have a symbiotic association with other organisms, if other organisms are dependent on this, they will also be affected because of the death. Like a coral reef, why are we worried about coral reef? Coral bleaching, coral reefs, adene whitening of the corals, but it is not death of the corals. Remember, coral bleaching is not the death of the corals, it is just the whitening of the corals. Why it bleaches out, why it becomes white, that is the question. Okay, we'll see into it. So sea anemone are also like, you can see this thread-like structures here. Thread-like structure, this is what sea anemone is. And these belong to the same family or phylum of corals itself, right? So unlike corals, they do not have hard shells and all that. Sea anemones are soft-bodied, sting-bearing aquatic invertebrates. Andre sting-bearing andre they sting, they can paralyze the other marine organisms which comes in contact with them. Okay, but they look like grass in the ocean, like grass or thread, very very harmless thread, but it is actually danger, wherein it is lethal if they can sting. So that only some species can occur near them, and because of their presence, rest of the algae or various species can thrive. So remember, sea anemones are aquatic invertebrates similar to corals. So they belong to the same phylum. Corals and anemone belongs to the same phylum called as Cnidaria. C silent, Cnidaria. They possess a sticky foot or disc enabling them to anchor to sea bottoms or coral reefs. The sticky foot mattu disc tara barutte. So they will settle down in the sea bottoms or in the coral reefs. Now noಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay. So equipped with stinging cells containing nematocysts, they release small threads which when mechanically or chemically stimulated. So when it comes in contact with any other predator or other animal mammal, they sting. So that will give out a thread wherein that can paralyze the other organism. Idu adadu predation or defense mechanism. Now, the most important thing is, why are we worried about the sea anemones? Because sea anemones has symbiotic relationship with other organisms, various animals. Why it has different colors? See, it has illi now green athwa bere purplish or reddish nodta ideve, but illi now full bleached agiruvantadu nodta ideve. That means it is a symbiotic association. There is algae that is present within the tentacles of the sea anemone. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಲರ್ ಕೊಡುವಂತದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು? One good example is this. You might have seen a very popular image. We call it as Nemo because of the movie's character. It is not Nemo, it is clownfish. The fish name is clownfish and the thread-like structure is sea anemone. What is happening between here? It is a symbiotic relationship between these two. Mutualism anta ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Mutualism anta andre both the organisms are benefited. Andre mutual exchange of the benefits. Now, clownfish tries to hide within the tentacles of sea anemone from the predation, away from the predation. But one might question, ee sea anemone ellanu sting ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, clownfish na yak ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ? Because of this thick outer layer of the skin, it will not affect. Stinging will not affect the clownfish. And moreover, clownfish he is here not to eat the sea anemone, simply to take shelter. So there is no stinging. So they get protected. No predators will come near them. Iga mutualism anta andaga clownfish ge protection siktu. What is the benefit for the sea anemone? These thread-like structures. They get enough nutrients from the clownfish because of their excretion. See, clownfish excretion is rich in ammonia, which is very important for the growth and survival of sea anemone. So this is the mutual benefit they are exchanging. So that is an example of mutualism. Okay, this one. What we see here is the symbiotic association between sea anemone, the white color thing, what you can see, and the hermit crab crustacean. What is happening here? The hermit crab takes the shelter of the sea anemone. It literally carries, the crab will carry the sea anemone. So it will move around, and when it moves around, what happens? It looks like it is free. It is protecting itself from the predator. So it looks like a very different organism altogether. No predator will come near them. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Crab ಗೆ protection ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, benefit. But what is the sea anemone getting? Sea anemone, actually it is sessile or sessile. I think if I'm not wrong, it is sessile. Sessile anta andre non-locomotive, cannot move, no motion, no moving. I mean, corals also do not move. But illa enagtide, hermit crab will take for a free ride in the ocean. Not a free ride for exactly. So sea anemone will absorb various nutrients in the ocean while the hermit crab carry it. Simply grows on it. Grows in the sense, stays on it. So illi ikade shelter sigutte hermit crab ge, ikade illi nutrients sigutte. One more example of mutualism. So esto organisms sea anemone mele depend agide. So if sea anemones are bleached, no organisms will come near them, and eventually they die because of lack of nutrition and so on. That's why we are worried about sea anemone bleaching, equally giving importance like coral bleaching. Okay, this is the thing. Then this is what anemone bleaching is all about. And also you can locate Agati Island on Lakshadweep. Lakshadweep atra Agati Island na locate map alli. Okay, where is it and all that. Then we will speak about the tribes in news, Muria tribe or Mudia tribe. So these tribes are in news because of two reasons. One is their seed preservation method, eco-friendly seed preservation method. Second thing is these are the internally displaced tribal families. Recently, there was a report, I believe, regarding migration and all that. Internally displaced people, internally displaced community. Andre ಏನು? We call migrants when they move from one country to another. But if at all they have a place in the given region, but they are, because of various conflicts, ethnic conflicts, religious conflicts, tribal conflicts, they have been pushed to evicted, a forceful eviction has been taken up, and they end up in a different place. This is called as internally displaced people, internally displaced community. Within the country, India ಈ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ಸ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದೇ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ರೀಜನ್ನೇ ಯಾವ್ದು, ಅವ್ರು ಇರುವಂತ ಜಾಗನೇ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರಿಯಾಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೈಬ್, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಐ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ ದ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಮೇತಿ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ಅಂಡ್ Kuki tribe ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. So ಎಷ್ಟೋ tribes, they are even Rohingya also, if you consider, we call them as immigrants, migrants or something, but they are also a displaced community. So ಇರುವಂತ ಜಾಗನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಕಳಿಸುವಂತದ್ದು, evict ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. Sometimes forceful eviction also will lead to displacement. ಇದು one point, keep this in mind. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ seed preservation. Let's look into seed preservation, then we'll understand Muria tribes better. Recently, a Muria tribal farmer, or Muria, however it is pronounced, who migrated from Chhattisgarh and resettled in the dense forest of Godavari Valley, has been making headlines for the practicing the DIDA method, a seed preservation method na DIDA method anta karitare. They call it as DIDA. So DIDA method anta bandaga, there is one more word to add up here. Such methods, traditional methods of agriculture, seed preservation, medicines, healing techniques, songs, ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇನು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So can we call this seed preservation method as a traditional knowledge of the Muria tribe? Yes, because what is traditional knowledge? Traditional knowledge is the indigenous knowledge that is being transferred from one generation to another orally. Definitely tribes will not write and keep, but they will teach their younger generation. Maybe the language, maybe the skill, maybe the art form, maybe the songs, like this seed preservation. Idella traditional knowledge anta kariteve. Okay, traditional knowledge gene separate laws and policies ide India dalli. We will learn that later, but keep this word in mind. Okay, esto words galu nimge ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬಹುದು. Now eventually we try to connect. Okay, if I bring everything, we will be settling in the same topic, but I mention the words because you know these are also the words where we can connect to this topic. So seeds are carefully stored in leaves, tightly packed to resemble boulders. You can see how it is packed, and encased in woven siali leaf. One more word, siali leaf. This is very important. Siali leaf yak important antandre, why am I focusing on this? Siali leaves are one of the NTFP. NTFP andre ಏನು? Non-timber forest produce. Non-timber forest produce, without timber, I mean not cutting the trees or something. NTFP, or before it was called as MFP anta karitare, minor forest produce anta. Example, see, siali leaf is one of the NTFP. Andre honey, wax, resins or leaves or medicinal plants, firewood, idella namge NTFP ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, non-timber forest produce, where only tribal people or the people in the forest have the accessibility to have it to what do you call it, for their livelihood. So what they do is they collect these and they sell it over and they live. So ಏನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಿಯಾಲಿ ಲೀಫ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಲೀಫ್ ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಡಿಡಾ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ವೈ ಸೀಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ಸ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಸೀಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೋವಿಂಗ್ ಸೀಸನ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಥವಾ they could give to others also or sell it off, it depends. Okay, So what they do is they use this method to preserve the seeds of pulses and food crops which were handed over to them by their ancestors in Chhattisgarh. So Muria tribes origin of the Chhattisgarh. So each data or this boulders composed of 3 layers including wood, ash, lemon leaves and sealed seeds is crafted to support at least 5 kg of seeds anna hold madutte. So that for the next season. Okay. So some key points regarding Mudia tribes. Let's look into it. So Yellali of the settlements they are found in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, where they speak a Dravidian language called as Koya. Koya anno language na matartaro. Okay. But I told you the origin is Chhattisgarh, but they are settled here today in all these places. These settlements also known as habitations of internally displaced people. ಈ ಜಾಗಗಳನ್ನ ಛತ್ತೀಸ್ಗಢ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳಿದಿರುವಂತ ಜಾಗಗಳನ್ನ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದವ್ರದ್ದು ಊರಲ್ಲ, ಜಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲ. Include around 6,600 individuals in Andhra Pradesh, referred to as Gutti Koyas by native tribes. So they call ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ native tribes, ತೆಲಂಗಾಣ ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಇರೋರು ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ಸ್ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ? ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ನಿಜ ಹೆಸರು ಮುಡಿಯಾ. But the native tribes there in Andhra Pradesh call them Gutti Koyas, treating them as outsiders. So they do not belong to this place. Okay. So despite being, we will read the third point. Mudia communities exhibit progressive attitudes towards marriage and life, exemplified by the Gotul, a communal dormitory fostering understanding of sexuality among Mudia youth. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಯೂತ್ ದೇ ಎಜುಕೇಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸುವಾಲಿಟಿ ಒಂದು ಡಾರ್ಮಿಟರಿ ಗೋಟುಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಕಾಲ್ ದ ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಮೇಕ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ adult sexuality, all they teach. So a very progressive attitude towards marriage they have, though they are tribes. That is one unique feature we can understand here. And do they have estate status in the state anta andaga Chhattisgarh alli ide. Despite being granted scheduled tribe status in Chhattisgarh, Gutti Koyas have not received the same recognition in their migrated states like Telangana. Telanganadalli ST status illa avute, Chhattisgarh alli. Ishtu facts. Okay, know about this. Though the news is on seed preservation, we are learning about the rest of the points. Innondu tribe news allittu, Kadar tribe. ಕಾಡು, ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿರುವವರು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಡಮ್ pathways. Pachyderm here we refer to elephants. Pachyderms ಅಂದ್ರೆ elephants. So Kadar tribesman recent death happened because of the elephant attack. It is a concern. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾಡಾರ್ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ these are tribes, ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿರುವವರು. ಈ ಆನಾಮಲೈ ಟೈಗರ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ so this Kadar tribesmen actually they are friends or they have a very long history of peacefully coexisting with the elephants in the forest. But it is a surprise that these people were attacked by the elephants, wherein they know the very what do you call as the movements of the elephants, the behavior of the elephants, everything they know, yet they were attacked. So it has sparked a concern in Tamil Nadu. Why it is happening? So the expert says because of the lack of corridors, elephant corridors illadiruvanta karanadindanu agirbodu. That is also a possible thing. So this is the news here. Elephant human animal conflict is the news. Tribes in news are Kadar tribe. Let us look into Kadar or their basic features. Okay. So the Kadars, a South Indian indigenous tribe, live along the hilly border of Cochin and Coimbatore, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Basically, they live there. They are traditional forest dwellers who depend on forest resources and avoid agriculture. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈಗಷ್ಟೇ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ seed preservation ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು tribe. But these, they will not take up agriculture. They only depend upon the forest produce. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. They do not take up any agriculture activity or the large scale agricultural activity. So the population of around 2,000 individuals, they speak Tamil and Kannada and they worship jungle spirits and are listed as PVTG. PVTGs, most of you will be knowing what is PVTG, right? Particularly vulnerable tribal group. They are also scheduled tribes only. They are also the tribes itself, but they differ from the normal tribes because of their illiteracy, isolation from the mainstream society, stagnant or declining population, right? All these factors or primitive agricultural ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಸೇರಿ ಅವರನ್ನ ನಾವು PVTG ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ PVTG ಅಂತ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೇರಳದಲ್ಲಿ, ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡಲ್ಲ. Again, listing also works like this, ST ತರಾನೆ. So what do they do for surviving? So they prefer rice obtained through trade or as wages over self-gathered food. Kadars historically specialize in collecting honey, wax, sago. All these are NTFP. ನಾನು ಇವಾಗಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ NTFP. Cardamom, ginger, and umbrella sticks for trade with plains merchants. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ they live in the forest, the hilly border. So what they do is they collect these materials, they go and sell it in the market or maybe any merchants. So in return they get wages, money, or sometimes rice, grain. So basically ಏನ್ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. So that is why they are PVTG. They maintain a symbiotic relationship with nature, believing in the coexistence of Kadar people and Kadu with traditional protocols ensuring sustainable use of forest resources. So they have their own deity coexisting and all that. Practices such as honey collection, firewood gathering, resin harvesting, and herb collection are designed to allow for regeneration. So ishtu Kadar ಬಗ್ಗೆ. PVTG ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ PVTG, laws and commission ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾನು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, because every other week there will be PVTG. Okay, once you learn it, you'll understand. Meanwhile, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. Twice it's been asked in exam prelims, because there are as of now 75 PVTGs are there in India. 75 groups are there, wherein Odisha has the maximum number. Keep these facts in mind. We will know better about them when we learn in class. Next, places in news ಅಂತ ತಗೊಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ international relations ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. Chabahar port was in news recently. Chabahar port ಅಂತಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ which country comes to our mind? Iran. Deal between India and Iran. Okay, so after India's and Iran's Chabahar port deal, US State Department Vedant Patel, one of the official, cautioned about potential sanctions risk for those doing business with Iran. So Chabahar port ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ Chabahar port is not a news or not a new thing to us. Since the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, this deal is signed, and it's still an ongoing condition. It's still an ongoing deal that is happening. But US, we know that US do not like Iran. The US has warned India, a warning of sanctions because of the Iran-India deal. But India respond madide antandre, this is not a new thing. It is not that we are closely having a separate ties or private deal between two countries. We are doing this for the entire region's purpose. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಇರುವಂತ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಂತ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ. Okay, so that is the news. But we will look into other facts. Chabahar is more than just a port for India and holds both commercial and strategic potential. So commercial mattu strategic. Commercial andre economic related barutte. Strategic antandre border issues with the neighboring countries, especially Pakistan we are talking about. ಈ ಚಾಬಹಾರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇರಾನ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಡೀಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ರೀಚ್ ಟು ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ರೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ನ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಇರಾನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇರಾನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾಬಹಾರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ as a connecting point to reach Afghanistan bypassing Pakistan. One more reason, this is one reason. One more reason is, already in Pakistan there is a Chinese establishment or Chinese investment called as Gwadar Port long back. ಈ ಗ್ವಾದರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಶೋ ಯು ಇನ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್. ಗ್ವಾದರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಬೆಲ್ಟ್ ರೋಡ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್. ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ವಾದರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಈ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ತರ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ ತರನು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತಾನು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Let's look into the map here. Now, you can see the Gwadar port here in Pakistan and how it can reach to Afghanistan, Kabul. Kandla in the Kabul tanka. Kandla in Gujarat in the Kabul ge reach agake. We used to take Pakistan, the same road, because it is more proximate. But ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ in the past Pakistan has withheld many commodities or goods. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆ ಕಡೆನೂ ತಲುಪಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಕಡೆನೂ ತಲುಪಿಲ್ಲ. So it was actually being an obstacle or a challenging situation for India and Afghanistan as well in import and export. So ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇರಾನ್ ನ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ತಗೊಂಡು we are doing this. ಮತ್ತು this is also a part of ಈ ಜಾಗ international north south transport corridor. Okay, north south transport corridor the part agutte ee jaga. Let's look into it. Chabahar, meaning four springs in Persian, was described by 10th century scholar Al-Biruni as the gateway of the subcontinent. Ee jaga na Chabahar port na, idu Chabahar port you can see in the border region. Okay, so it is called as four springs by Al-Biruni as described by him, as it looks it is the gateway. Iranian ambassador Iraj Ilahi referred to Chabahar as the golden gateway for Indian Ocean countries to Central Asia. Indian Ocean ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಒಮಾನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅರೇಬಿಯನ್ ಸಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್, ಅಥವಾ ಆಫ್ರಿಕನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ಟು ಎಂಟರ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಏಷಿಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. Located in Iran's Makran coast in Sistan Baluchistan province, Chabahar is a deep water port. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ Chabahar ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is a deep water port. Deep water port ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Which handles very large and heavily loaded ships. Heavily loaded ships na handle ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. So at the mouth of the Strait of Hormuz. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ when it comes to mapping, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ water bodies, Strait of Hormuz, Gulf of Persia, which are the countries, which are the sea, which are the water bodies that surrounds the countries, ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರೆಡ್ ಸಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಏನೇ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಏನೇನಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, eventually you will learn, but you have to do it. So it is the only Iranian port with direct access to Indian Ocean. ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟ್, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಓಷನ್ ಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಚಾಬಹಾರ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್. Geographically, it is closer to Gujarat on India's west coast, just 768 nautical miles from Mumbai. Mumbaiಗೂ ಹತ್ರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಿಟೀಸ್ಗೂ ಇದು ಹತ್ರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Okay, this is as of now we have some points. Mapping ಮತ್ತು basic ಆಗಿ policies, international policies ನ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. So let's talk about one last topic, miscellaneous one. GI tag ಇತ್ತು, so I have added it. ಯಾಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ because throughout the week, throughout the year, we'll be having so many products that get GI tag. That is not a thing, but anything that is unique or special or we have a learning about it, we have to learn. The central government recently granted geographical indication GI tag to marble extracted from Ambaji in Gujarat. Gujarat ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು marble, type of marble, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ GI tag ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It is celebrated for its stunning white appearance and distinctive natural patterns. Originates from town of Ambaji in Gujarat. Okay, and for your static part, what you have to learn is marble ಹೇಗೆ form ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, what type of rock it is. We have three types of rocks: metamorphic rock, igneous rock, sedimentary rocks. Major types. Marble forms from limestone through metamorphism, which involves heat and pressure. Okay, and composition ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. At least ಇಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. Marble, how it is formed, metamorphic rock ಗೆ ಒಂದು example ಅಂತ. Some basic fact. Okay, its composition includes primarily calcite along with other minerals like clay minerals, mica, quartz, and all that. Same thing out there. During metamorphism, calcite in limestone recrystallizes into interlocking calcite crystals. Dolomite marble results from the metamorphism of dolostone. Only factual thing. So one more point to add is the transformation of the limestone into marble typically occurs. ಈ marble ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ convergent plate boundaries. ಎರಡು ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದು ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಾಕ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು plate boundaries. Plate boundaries, three types are there: convergent, divergent, transform. So marble ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ convergent plate boundaries ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Convergent is colliding, transform is parallel, divergent is going apart. So convergent plate boundaries ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ metamorphic or metamorphism ಅಥವಾ marbles ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. We are connecting like that. Okay, this is the GI tag. This is what we have for today, for this week. Hope you followed the class. I hope there was no glitch, no video glitch, audio glitch and all. You followed. So any questions you have, you can ask, or else we can wind for the day. Anything? Okay. So let's meet in the next class. Thank you so much. What all I have mentioned in between the basic static parts, please go through that. Okay. Thank you so much and take care. Last 3 PPT is not received. I have sent. Please remind. Okay, I have sent it. Okay. Yes. Please do ask again. Channel, in the sense, I think Academy will be uploading in the app, I believe, if I'm not wrong. That's what I know. Please do ask once. Your mentor maybe, or anybody in the academy. Okay. Okay, then see you. Take care. Government source that I mentioned apart from Hindu. PIB, Press India Bureau. PIB.